A scroll saw. Cut out the piece that we're going to carve today. And I thought it'd be nice to just show you this piece too. If I don't break the tool, which could happen. I'm not going to try to act like I couldn't break the tool, that's for sure. Alright, let's see what we got here. Okay, that's a pretty good angle. Pretty much straight on, yeah. That looks pretty good. Alright, so here we go. Here's what we got. We got this little bear trying to get a honey pot. And that's what we're going. Hey, Michael, what's going on, buddy? This is what we got. We got a little bear trying to get to the honey pot, or the not the honey pot, beehive. He's trying to get to the beehive. What's going on, Chucker? Glad to see you, buddy. And I got a little owl in here too. I think I'm going to carve that guy in, but I'm going to start out with that scroll saw. That's for sure. Cut that out. Hey, you guys, be sure and smile. I want to see lots of aliens and laugh emojis. That's what we're after. But anyway, be sure and hit the like button. I'm going to go ahead and start on this, cutting this shape out, and we'll go from there. Now, it may be that this thing vibrates so daggone bad. I don't know. We'll find out. I was actually Ray from Ray and Sandy's Woodworking. He gave me this old scroll saw. He got a new one, and he asked me, "Hey, you want it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And I gotta be honest, little did I know how much I was gonna enjoy using this thing. And that's a pretty daggone handy piece. And I have not broke the haven't broke the blade yet. And Ray, you can give me extra blades. I mean, you can't go wrong there, I don't think. When we go too far and cut that off, do it. But one thing I am noticing is that I didn't have this problem with it before, but over here, for whatever reason, I'm having to hold it in place and this thing will vibrate away. You have that, right? I'm going to try to cut it out as best I can, but every time, whatever I can't get, I can always carve. This is a piece of cedar. It's like nice and soft. It's really nice and easy to work with. I've never had any cedars, so this is all pretty new to me. I made that bear piece. And actually, I'll show you guys that bear piece. Man, did that thing come out good. I'm really happy with it. I'm as happy with it as any of the pieces I've ever made, big pieces. I'm just really happy with how it came out. See how this goes. Make sure I don't cut my finger off. I mean, I can always try to do my, trim my nails with this thing. I don't know if my, trust my abilities, good enough to try it, but, I mean, sometimes you gotta wild out a little bit. That's just the way it is. And in case you don't know what wild out means, that means do something dumb. And crazy. And act like a fool. And that's not hard. I don't care who you are. It's not hard. Hey, you guys be sure and hit that like button. What's going on? 156 people, only 9 likes? Come on now. You guys get with us. Hit the like button. Appreciate you guys being in there. I don't know. Maybe nobody wants to see a fat guy use a scroll saw. That could be. It's like butter, man, I'm telling you. But this piece is thin. I mean, it's only like a 1/4 inch, so really thin stuff. This is actually another piece of that when I was made that bear out of last week, which is it was actually a disposable piece of hickory to be used to cook. This thing don't want coffee. I'm beginning to think it's been drinking. I don't know. It's like it can't walk the line, you know what I'm saying? It can't walk the line. It's going to have to pay the fine. It might have some jail time. What's that sign? There's a billboard, you know, that try to discourage people from drinking and driving, which is really dumb. I don't know why anybody would do that. But that said, the sign says, you just blew 10,000. You know, I bet you it's more like 25 now. I don't know. I wouldn't know. That ain't never been an issue for me. I've never been dumb enough to drink and drive. I guess would be the right thing to say, right? Anyway, that's pretty thin stuff. That's not very big. I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, you could almost make a taco out of that. Put some meat in there, some lettuce, cheese, fold it in half. I don't know. Depends on how creative you are. Okay, let's keep right on going. I just got to cut this piece out. We'll be ready to call it. Obviously not nearly as intricate. Alright. Okay, so far, not bragging, we managed not to cut our hand off. So that's pretty good. We'll take it. We'll get this thing out of the way. And I want to show you guys that one from last week. It really come out good. I'm as happy with it as I am any piece of the same carving that I've chainsaw carved. So it's all painted, clear coated, ready to go. Come out pretty good. Hello, everybody. Anyway, he's a pretty cute little guy, you know. Here, maybe that's going to be more oriented for you guys. He's looking to the left. I always make him looking to the left. But that said, y'all hit the like button, and we're going to get started on this thing and go from there. But first, today is Members Giveaway Friday. Here's the 3 pieces that the winning member will be able to select from. One thing I will tell you up front, Professor Rusty, I will be painting his hat black before he leaves here. Unless you say, no, don't paint his hat black. I want to paint it myself. And, you know, it's all right. You know, whatever. I ain't judging. But anyway, or this guy, he's kind of slant-eyed woodman, you know. I mean, but he come out pretty good. Not too bad, not too good. And in the bash, you know, you might have the fisherman fan, you know. You know, hey, Michael S., give us some golden poop, man. That's all right. I'll take it. You know, I'm not going to eat it, but I'll take it. Okay, but anyway, those are going to be our, and I got to tell you guys something else, too. Okay, so Jake. Remember Jake and his wife. We just got done carving his wife, you know. She's doing pretty good, you know. They're kind of smooching a little bit here and there. He knows she's got a big nose, and he's not very happy about that part. But he asked me to give her an ugly color for a dress because he didn't want her to think she was too fancy. And I'm not sure why, what kind of husband he's going to be. But that said, here they are. She's painted, he's painted, and little Jake, he got his nose painted. He's a happy little guy too. Okay, we're going to shut up with that. You guys be sure to hit the like button, and we're going to start to carve this piece we got here. And when we get done with this piece, we'll do the member drawing and go from there. And then I got some other ideas. I'd like to take some of these pieces here, make a couple more mushrooms, maybe a morel mushroom out of one of them. And I've been debating this Dan carving, but let me get my, I call it Dan. That's going to be my Dan. I'm not like a woodcraft. Anyhow, let me get this on, and we'll get to it. So I pulled this thing down today, took the cable apart, put some oil on it. Heck yeah, more smiley faces. I want aliens. I love the aliens. Okay. Anyway, that's getting greased. We're going to start working on this dude. Just start out with flamer burr and really cut the sides down, get some detail going here. But it's kind of intricate. You know, it's kind of cute. You got an owl hiding in there, you know, dirty little owl. And we'll just see how it goes out. All right, man. Got lots of aliens. Lots of aliens. Hopefully we can get some lots of like buttons. That'd be awesome too. Need about 100 likes. Would be awesome during the day here, during the live. So let me get my RZ on. And I got some new filters for this, but I haven't put any in yet. It sure needs one. Uh-oh. Oh, I got the green. I don't even know what that is. Like, I don't know. Okay, it's something. How about that? Hold on, I got one more mouth button. So, at some point in time during this live stream, I'm going to have a can of beer. I just don't know when it's going to be. Okay, you guys hit the like button, and we'll get started on this carving. Let me see if I can zoom it in, about into there, and that kind of gives me an idea where my holes are. Keep it pretty close so you guys can see it. Heck yeah, keep them emojis coming, and tell people to hit the like for me. All right. Somebody wins it and they decide they're going to use it as a hammer, you know, take on out. No, I wouldn't. that bark pattern I got going there. I think that's going to look pretty good, really. Anyway, y'all hit the like button. Hell, we're up to 55. Yeah, it's looking pretty good in 20 minutes. Like to get the 100 today anyway. What's going on? We got Ray and Sandy. Creation does 777. The best chainsaw carver in the world. Matthew, Michael S. Hey, Dave Collier. What's going on, buddy? Make some fine spoons. Heck yeah. Let's keep right on going. You guys hit the like button. That's all right. I think the next thing I'm going to do is try to get in this little owl, because that owl is tiny. I mean, he's really small. So I'm going to get out the, I've got this KUTZALL, don't pay attention to that one. But anyway, this is the fine detail kit, and I'm just kind of looking what would be the best to dig out the detail. Probably this one right here. So let's start on that owl. And I'm wondering if I can zoom in a little bit more on the owl, since he's going to be a good bit of detail trying to get him in there. Just trying to cut him out. Actually, I could probably use horse fur on that, but I think I'll just go ahead and start with this, kind of put the detail on. I don't know. I'm kind of debating. Maybe this guy. Yeah, let's try this guy. Kind of a go here. Okay. Because there's a bear under the tree, but you know, I mean, I ain't judging. But anyway, appreciate y'all being here. Hit the like button, be sure to subscribe if you want to. See that thing? I mean, I can barely see the stupid thing. If that makes any sense. Tiny. I don't know. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. Okay, I'm gonna go change to that other bit that I had. Try to give a little bit of lines, a little bit of wing detail. I don't know how small that is, but I'm gonna try. I know it's cute. It's kind of neat. It's challenging. It's fun. First thing that happens is nobody knows what it is. It just looks like a bad spot in the tree. That's all right, too, you know. That's all right. The guy has to look out for people too. my mind, the only way you're even going to be able to tell that's an owl at this point is if I give it some eyes. So before I go any further with the bear and anything else, that's it for the owl. Let me go ahead and give this dude some eyes. We'll zoom back out and do some other stuff. We'll start working on the bear or the honeycomb, probably the honeycomb actually. I'm telling you, this is fun. I can't believe how fast this is going too. Been on here a half hour. I'm having a good time. 72 likes. That's awesome. You guys, if you like getting 100, down now, that's old Fritz. Old Fritz the night owl. He's hiding up in there, you know. You can kind of see him hanging out in this dead tree. We'll have to paint him, but we'll end up painting this whole piece. Anyway, so let's start working on this next. This is some tender piece here. I don't know. I'm going to do the actual honeycomb part first. I can zoom out a little bit, just in case I'm not even on the screen. There we go. I'm going to do the actual beehive first and work it out before I try to thin that out, because I already got to be concerned with cracking it. And I think I'm going to go with horse burr. Yeah, I'm going to go with this horse burr first to clean that, shape that down and thin it down enough. That thing's got to lose shape quite a bit. At that and you thought, man, he's getting that awful close to his fingers. I'll bet if he hits his fingers, it's gonna hurt. It could hurt, but it's nothing like you would think. I mean, that is pretty coarse. I definitely wouldn't like grab on it and try to stop it while it's running, but it's not that bad. But that's it. Hit the like button. We're up to 76. Remember, our goal is to get to 100 by the time we get done with this garden. Also, when we get done with this garden, we're gonna have our Zimmerman giveaway. You know, the odds are real good. Right now we got 21 members. And Boss Lady is not eligible. And also, Pinewood's on last month. So he wouldn't be as eligible. Other than that, The only good raccoon is a dead raccoon. I mean, he hated raccoons, man. He was something else with that. All right, I'm gonna go back to bear detail. Dig this dude out. We'll go ahead with better herring before we try to give him an eye. But I do want to do a little bit better detail on that mouth, and I'm not going to do it with what I got, so I'm going to have to switch. All right. Hey, 92, we're almost up there, and going pretty good. 93, can't complain about that. Okay. Change this baby out, give this dude a mouth. He'll look happy as can be. Be a little fun. I'll get it painted and put a, I'll probably update the thumbnail as I go once I get it painted. But anyway, where are we at on this? Okay, right there. There's a mouth. So, I figured out from last week on the hair part, you want to give it hair. I've got this bit. Oh, I don't even know what it's called. But it is a super coarse wheel of some sort. I don't know. It's a COTTONWOOD burr. Anyhow, this was really good on that burr last week, giving it hair. So, let's try that again on this one. And you never know. Maybe we'll go all the way through it and rip him clear in half, and it'll look awful in the end. But I'm okay finding out. I mean, worst thing that happens, this thing be some kindling for fire. But you know, hey, I want some spaceman emojis. Let's go. What's up with the spaceman emojis? Alien, everywhere. Gotta be alien. It's not alien. It's not. Come out with a big one. Man, we're getting closer and closer to the drawing. We'll pull that out for a second. And hey, we're almost up to 100. That's what we were going for, 98. Pretty close. Okay, so let's give that bear an eye. And it looks pretty good. I think he's going to look nice. I'm going to carve something else, but I might paint him yet this evening, or at least start, you know. I mean, it's going to be a black bear. That part's pretty easy. Paint it black, right? Okay. I don't know if you guys seen that. I don't know if it matters, but I took it and did it at an angle. I'm going to go ahead and take one of those skinny bits and try to dig a little bit of that out just to make it look like, you know, he can see out that eye a little better. Let's do that. Pull that out a little bit. Clean that up. You'll see what I'm saying here in a second. Let's see. Code. Let's get back to the COTTONWOOD code. Fine detail code for this one. And the eyes are Manpaw eye tools. And that is the smallest one that I know of that they make. And it might be dumb, but sometimes these trees will have like cracks in them and stuff. I think I want to pull a few of these lines that I've drawn in there, add some of them here. 3 months, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Uh-oh. What did we do? We love Bear and the Boss Lady. All right, buddy. 9 months worth of the electric whittler. That is awesome, my friend. I appreciate that. Really, really cool. Heck yeah. So that's what we got for this piece for the giveaway. And we'll pull out, you can see the whole piece with the owl and everything. And I mean, it's kind of cute, you know, the bear. You can see the texture of the bear. And by the time you paint him, you know, give him a little, paint the eye black, and then give it a little white in the back side of it. Paint the nose. Leave this clear right here, maybe line the mouth. And I don't know. I think it'll look pretty good. But then the owl, I mean, the owl's he's kind of goofy. He's kind of wonky. I don't know. It's not too bad. I mean, that thing is tiny. It's like maybe 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. I don't know. It's pretty. That's a small owl. You know what I mean? But that's it. Just is what it is. But that's it. All right. Hit the like button. And I said we would have our giveaway. So here's what we got. It's going to be our 3 pieces. And I need something to drink. Hold on a second. And actually, I said I was going to have a can of beer here. I'm going to get it. Maybe. Oh, yeah. So, Boss Lady just got me some. She just got me some today. And, you know what I'm saying? Survey says drink beer, right? Okay. So here's what we got. Professor Rusty. If you pick him, I'm letting you know up front. Before I mail him out, I will be painting the hat black. I'll leave the buckle out, or I might paint it silver. And the teeth, these turkey spurs or shark teeth, whatever the heck it's supposed to be. I don't know. I didn't look at the hat that close. But I will be painting the hat if you pick this one. This Woodman guy, you know, he's kind of cool. You know, made him out of a 1-inch piece of cottonwood bark. He come out all right. You know, I'm pretty happy with it. You know, no professional by any means. And this bass, you know, this bass looks pretty good. So you can pick, whoever wins can pick between those. And if you need me to send you an email with pictures of them to pick, you know, we'll go from there. So let's pull this out and get this part of the show on the road so we can get back to making some stuff. Let's see, spin the wheel. Okay, so here's what we got. Now, plywood is on here, but this time around, he's not eligible. So, let's spin the wheel. Anybody got any predictions on who's going to win this? Let's see. Michael S., man, he wins a lot. You know, there's no doubt in my mind. So, could be him. It's hard to say. I'm looking. Nope, nobody's got any guesses. Okay, spin the wheel time then. I guess that's where we're going to be. Uh-oh. What's this say? Them emojis? I've never seen them. No, I haven't either. Those are pretty cool. Okay. Da, 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 da. Okay, Brandon Watts. Yep, Brandon Watts. Okay, now I gotta be honest with you guys. I have never, hey Hilda Jones, how's it going? I have never seen Brandon Watts myself on the channel watching. So, Brandon, you got 7 days to get back with me. Let me know your address. I'll mail this. If not, the next Friday, I'll have to spin it and have it again. Yeah, Michael, I haven't seen him. He popped in that one time and he became a member, and I've never seen him. I've never actually talked to him on any channels before, so I don't know what happened to him, but I'll put that on there that he's the winner. I'll post that tonight, and we'll give it 7 days. If we don't hear from him, then next Friday we'll draw somebody else. That's the way it'll go. Yeah, he got a free membership. No, he didn't get a free membership. He's been on there for, geez, 5 months. It's been a long time. It's been a really long time. I remember you guys telling me about him. He had a story, some stuff that had happened to him. You know, he's kind of having a rough way to go. I remember you guys telling me about him, but I never met him, and I've never seen him since. But to be fair, he won. So we'll give him a week. Let's see. I won a membership to Amy Jo's channel today. Hey, that's cool. Awesome, EW. Anyway, that's what we got for this one. It'll be Brandon Watts. He's got 7 days. I'll post it tonight. So, what do you guys think? I'm going to be honest with you. This one here, not super enthused. I think it's going to be pretty tough to pull off. But I got these little pieces I could make mushrooms out of. I think that's what I'm going to do. I've also got this piece of cottonwood that, I mean, it could have a face carved in it or something like that. What would you guys rather see, mushrooms or another face carving? I mean, I've done a bunch of face carving, but I just did a mushroom last week, so I can see not doing it. But I thought about making a morel, honestly, out of that. This is that popper, came from Big Mex by way of Cat's Piece, and that's what I'm thinking. Maybe cut that down, and maybe I could draw it and cut it out with a scroll saw. Uh-oh, Baby Kiss says trout, make a trout. I could make a trout, mushroom. Let's see. I don't have a trout, so I could make one. But I thought about making this with a mushroom, cutting a basic shape out on one side. Here, let's just draw it. We'll make a morel first. I haven't made a morel this small, that's for sure. I'll bring a scroll saw back over, and I'll cut this basic shape out. As long as I don't break it off. You know, if I did, Ray, you'll laugh at me, you know. Okay, so that's going to be the basic shape. Let's cut that out first, and then we'll carve it. See how it goes. But I'm looking, let's see. Mike is making. Oh, Mike in there. Hey, Mike, what's going on, my man? Heck yeah, glad to see you. Okay, so let me get the scroll saw back over here. And hopefully, all this stuff's on the same circuit. I got a great big fan, and I got my my dust collection system running, and this thing's gonna all be running on the same circuit, so hopefully it can. All right, let's find out. All I know is the lights go off. I guess that'd be lights, right? So the goal of doing this is always try to not to cut your finger off. What gets me is that it'll make that pretty easily make that turn. Half of it. on this end. Try to keep it on the camera, right? There we go. So that's the first part. Basic shape for a morel. You know, it kind of looks like a screwed up spade, doesn't it? Yeah, I know. Like, hey, maybe you should be wearing gloves, man. Looks like you're gonna cut your finger off. I think you're stupid. Okay, could be. I don't know. I'm not trying to gain brownie points. I'm not that good. How about that? Just be honest. Well, okay, I'm honest. I ain't that good. Okay. All right. So obviously, we got a long way to go and a short time to get there, and that requires a flamer burr. Okay, but before we do, so everybody says, drink beer. Okay. See what we can do. How we zoomed in, you know, here. We'll go ahead and I'm getting a cone pretty quick. You know, that ain't taking too long at all. But anyway, we'll keep going and start cutting the stem down now. Cut that down so much and then all of a sudden snap it off because it got the stem too thin. But I do need to thin this piece out a little bit. think that's going to be too much. So I think I'm going to try the course instead and see how that is. Let's find out. But I got that down relatively quick. And the one I made last week, I gave it away already. So I painted it, gave it away. That's life, right? I mean, what are you going to do with all this stuff? You know what I mean? You can't keep it all. Hey, anyway, we got up to 115 likes. I'm happy about that. Hands down, that is the most realistic morel I've ever made so far. That's looking pretty good. Okay. Hands down, I'm happy with that one. That looks pretty good. I might spray it. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Spray it and then sand it. I think. But all my black paint is out in the chainsaw carving shanty, so I can't really spray it and go back to it right now. But I think that looks pretty good. That's a pretty good looking morel, man. That's the best looking morel I've ever made, I can tell you that. Looks pretty good. Thanks, Mikey. Michael, that's awesome. I love it, man. It looks pretty cool. All right, so what we gonna do next? What we got? Is it 10? 9:49. Okay. All right. Take another drink here. I mean, I could make a toadstool type. I don't know. I don't know if I want to jack with that. It's hard to say. Can't always win everything. I tell you what I can do. So I was planning on. Let me try to brush all this. That poplar, I was kind of throwing it back at myself. Let me pull this phone out of here. And yeah, we'll set this thing down like that. Okay. Something like that. And turn this stuff off. Hold on just a second. Heck yeah, I'm gonna put my favorite hat on. You guys know, got a favorite hat? My favorite hat, make wood great again. I don't know. What do you guys think of that? It's pretty goofy. I don't know. I like the idea. I don't care. I want to just play a song. How about that? So, I've been trying to learn this one this last couple of days. I don't know how it's going to come out, but we're going to find out. I know everybody's going to buy. He's wearing a Trump hat. Well, make wood great again. How about that? Okay. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We've been swinging and a missing. It ain't broke yet, but damn, it needs fixing. It's been a while since your kiss felt like kissing. It's just different. We've been talking about forever since we've been together. Something about a ring makes you think we're better off with all this, but I'm caught in between a rock and a hard place. Red, white, and mistakes. Tears rolling down your face as I walked out that door. And that's when I lost it. Midnight in Austin. Damn, I'm exhausted. What the hell's this all for? Is this where it mends or it breaks? Between a rock and a hard place. For the record, shoot, throwing in the towel takes some effort. So I'd rather ride it out for better weather. Together, between a rock and a hard place. Red, white, and mistakes. Tears rolling down your face as I walked out that door. And that's when I lost it. Midnight in Austin. Damn, I'm exhausted. What the hell's this all for? Is this where it mends or it breaks? Between a rock and a hard place. Is this where it mends or it breaks? How much more of this can we take? Oh, well, something like that. Anyway, that's fun. The end of it, I know I screwed the end of it up. But I don't care. And give me something else different to do. Let's see what you guys got here. Baby kisses, all right. Yeah, we're not too good. Hey, Rasha Bendigo Hana, my buddy, what's going on? Hey, Jens, appreciate you bringing in here. Yeah, you'll like it here. Baby kisses is awesome. She's one of our awesome fans. Glad to have you. Okay, I don't know. If you guys ain't doing nothing else, I ain't doing nothing else. Let's carve something else. So, that's our little Morel. You know, he looks pretty good. I'll paint it. It'll end up being on the updated thumbnail. That's our little bear piece that we made there. Wow. Woo, woo. Okay. So we got a couple pieces in there. And Brandon Watts, if we can get a hold of him, you know, he's our winner. You know, that's awesome too. Okay. So let me take that off. And hey, Michael, 9 months. All right, buddy. Appreciate that. Heck yeah. Okay, let me turn this back around. Got plenty of battery. They didn't like that orientation, I guess. There we go. Let's get this fixed up. And, all right. So, I don't know. I can start on old Dan here. That's my goal. I don't know how this is going to go out. And I tell you, uh-oh, man, hey, DeLand. Hey, man, DeLand added 2 months. Plywood added 4 months. Man, you guys are awesome. Well, I don't care what they say about y'all. Okay, so I don't know. I'm telling you, this one here, I think is going to be pretty difficult. But I'm willing to give about a half hour into it yet tonight. So, what we got? 35 minutes? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to start on it. I'm not going to commit that I'm going to finish it, but I'm going to start on it. And I want to call this our Dan from Elegant Woodcraft carving, but if it comes out crappy, then I'm insulting my buddy Dan, and I don't want to do that to him. Hey, baby, kiss is 7 months. I know, you're so awesome. You guys are so awesome. I don't care. Heck yeah, you guys are all right. Okay, let's get this thing on the road here and see if we can't make one more thing, or at least get started on. I don't know. Dan just seems, I know I could crank out another mushroom. This seems a little technical. I don't know. Maybe I should try to make like a toadstool type mushroom. I'm going to do that. Don't beat me up. Don't be hating. I'm going to try. I'm taking the easy route. Yeah. But, you know, I'm tired. It's like, you know, it's almost 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And, you know, I will do it. I'm going to do that one. It's just, I'd want to start alive doing that one. You know? Oh, yeah. No. By the way, hey, Jen, welcome. 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 Or Wecklum. Wecklum. There you go. How about that? He looks so cute, doesn't he? Okay. We made that last week. All right. So, let me get my safety glasses. And let's whip out a little toadstool type mushroom. This will be new. I've never made a morel like that before. That come out good. And then the one I made last week of the regular mushroom, that was the first time I ever made one of those. And so let's make a toadstool type out of this piece. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to work the stem out. And that's going to take a while. You know what? I could save myself a good 5 or 6 minutes if I got the scroll saw out and did that with the scroll saw. Cut that. Man, a flip-flop keeps falling off of it. It's really good. Let's do that. Bring this baby over here. Okay. I get the cord around there. At least cut the stem down. I think I'd save a ton of time if I use that to kind of. Here, we'll draw it out. Let's see what we got. Something like that. It's going to be something like that. So, yeah, something like that. All right, let's see if we can't cut that out. You know, I never turned my I had to go over there and turn my dust collector back on. Not that that's hard, but I forgot about it. I mean, we learn these whimsical arts, you know, our good buddy, good friend, Creation Does 777, he says that he does things that appeal to his whimsical side. And really, ain't that what most of us want to see? It's kind of cute, you know, you got the mushrooms and the frogs and the that kind of stuff. So there we go. Give it a little lump in there, and we'll cut that down. So let me get this thing out of the way, and let's see if we can't make us a little whimsical mushroom out of that. Have a little fun with it. But let me turn this thing. Yeah, dust collector on first. I got so much of this poplar little stuff that man, I got carve forever. Big Mac says he's got a bunch more of it. Okay, dust mask and let's zoom in. Okay, right in there. Okay, that looks good. All right. Heck yeah. It'll stand on its own. That's a plus anyway, isn't it? All right. We're gonna start working the mushroom now. I'm afraid that I'm holding on that stem. I made that stem real skinny and kind of close to realistic. And I'm afraid eventually it's going to snap off. But you know what? If it does, it does, right? piece. I think that's looking pretty cute, you know. I mean, it's looking like a mushroom. That's all we could ask for, right? Okay, there's that. And that's a quarter, so I gotta run that all the way out. I'm gonna sand it and then put the grooves inside the. Okay. Let's give it some gills. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Give it some gills. Oh, use Link's fine one. This won't work. No, it won't. That was kind of like we're going to use the spear. We use this one. Yeah, the one I looked at, it was kind of like, I don't know, it was like a blunt end. I don't know how to describe it. I just figured it'd be kind of tough to give it gills with that one. All right. Is that in there right? Yeah, that looks all right. I think. Yeah, let's go. I think all in all, that's not bad. See little gills all the way around it. A cute little thing, you know. Paint it up. It can hang out there with my morel carving. You know, I think tomorrow I should have these two pieces colored, and I'll show you guys what the result of them is. But I think what I'm going to do tomorrow night, this is my plan, at least as of right now, I'm thinking this piece right here, I made one similar to this. It didn't have the owl in it, but I'm thinking I'm going to make a chainsaw carved version of this as best I can. It's going to be a skinnier piece of wood, so the bear will be tucked closer to the tree, or it might only be half the tree. I might not be able to get the owl in it. I'm not sure. But I'm going to make a hanging piece or a ground piece that would like go up against the wall, just like this piece, with this same design. I know I made one of these last year and I sold it, and it was this and this. It didn't have the owl, but so I think that's what I'm going to do. Tomorrow I'm going to make one of those with a chainsaw, and that'll be tomorrow evening. That is the plan. So this is what we got so far for tonight. I think we got a lot done, you know, and I keep going back and forth about doing this Dan carving. I think it's going to be kind of hard, but we're going to do it. Don't get me wrong. And then that morel, man, I mean, that came out pretty nice. I mean, that could be put on top of a walking stick, whatever. It looked pretty cool. Although I would like that too much and would never take it in the woods. I'd be too afraid of losing it. But then again, I can make them. I don't know why I would care, right? You guys just got to tell me, you know, sometimes, Barry, you just got to quit being a sissy. I know. It is what it is. But we did it, though, and we got through there a little less than 2 hours. Brandon Watts, if we can get a hold of him, I'll post that on my post tonight. And if he does not get back to me, though, by next Friday, then we'll have a giveaway drawing again next Friday. That'll be the plan. But that's what I got, man. I sure appreciate y'all who extended your membership, man. That was really, really nice. And, man, we got 27 rubies out of that. It's been pretty good, and 135 likes. Hey, old Pat, what's going on? Plywood, Tom, you changed the profile picture. Baby kisses. I love that new picture you got. That's pretty good. That little bear. Heck yeah. All right, Michael sent me another gift, another thumbs up. Heck yeah. I like that. Well, appreciate you guys being in there. We will be back tomorrow. More than likely, like I said, I want to be making this piece in a chainsaw carving. It'll be very similar, not the same, but very similar. And, oh, I never did show you that. I think I probably showed you guys this. But anyway, this guy's done. He come out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with him, too. And how about this? OH! All right, okay. Anyhow, that's what we got. All right, guys, so hey, we'll catch you all tomorrow. I don't think Creation Dust 777 is on tomorrow. That was a special Saturday a couple weeks ago. So, hey, man, I not only got aliens, I got planets. Heck yeah, IO, that's right. Hey, Flossie, appreciate that. So we'll catch y'all tomorrow and go from there. All right. Come back when you can stay later.